Welcome to Everyday Theology, an ecumenical space for students to discuss matters of faith and theology. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good job. I'm your host, Connor Grubbs.
I am your co-host, Ryan Mock.
And I'm your co-host, Johnny Grubbs.
And I'm Mac.
Still got to come up with the title for Mac.
I'm
Cool,
just here
man.
right now.
He's here. We're glad you're here, Mac. So
Yay.
I noticed something. Our audience may have noticed something.
What? What did they notice?
A little different about the intro.
Really? What was it?
You didn't say Theology Thursday.
Wait a second. You're right, I didn't say Theology
said-
Thursday.
What kind of bit is this?
You said something else. You said Everyday Theology.
I did,
It's every day, bro.
with that theology flow.
Whoa. So, we are here to do a State of the Union address, if you will, and to give an update on Theology Thursday because we are adjusting our format.
This is the end of Theology Thursday?
What? No, this is not the end of Theology Thursday.
The thumbnail will imply that, but
Everybody looked shocked. It's the end of Theology Thursday as you know it. But not the end of Theology Thursday as a whole. However, you'll notice on our main channel, this is going to be like on your regular Spotify feed, YouTube, all these different places. The name is changing from Theology Thursday to Everyday Theology. And there's a couple of reasons we want to talk about why we're doing this. So we've been doing Theology Thursday for a while. We're like on 130-something episodes.
4 years.
4 years. And I was kind of told if you posted consistently, if you stuck with your niche, if you had a theme, eventually you'd break through. And that never really happened for us.
It was a lie.
We've been very consistent, and we've built a community, no doubt, but it's a small one. And there's nothing wrong with that, but we do want to grow. We put a lot of work into this, and I think it's valuable for people. I would like more people to be a part of the discussion. And so we've been talking lately about what we could do to help grow Theology Thursday, to expand our exposure and kind of grow this community a little bit. And we looked at our current format, and one of the things we have is our Patreon. And on Patreon, there's a show called Subpoints. This is our after show, and this used to be a part of the main episode before we launched Patreon. And there's different tiers to Patreon, but the cheapest one right now is $3 a month. Then there's a $6 and a $12. And they have these after shows. And on the after show, Subpoints, that whole concept was always us talking about current events, okay? Stuff that's relevant, pop culture kind of stuff, but we're talking about it from a faith perspective. How do we approach this with our theology as the lens? An example would be that interview that we actually, instead of just sharing it on Patreon, we shared it with everybody, was we reacted to that interview that Shia LaBeouf did with Bishop Barron. All right, so this is a celebrity talking about coming to faith. Okay, so we react to that. We respond to that. And that's been behind a paywall. That's only available to our Patreons. And then this more in-depth stuff, right now we're going through the book of Revelation verse by verse. That's just available to everybody, but it's also not something that everybody on YouTube is looking for, right? So that's a very specific group of our audience that's into that kind of a thing. And so we realized it's not compromising for us to try and get exposure to content that we're already making. Subpoints has always been a part of what we did. From the very beginning of the show, we had this idea of subpoints, of us talking about kind of a more casual conversation about current events, pop culture, from a faith perspective. And the fact is, that's the kind of stuff that there's actually kind of a hunger for and an interest in on these platforms. So that should be what we're offering to the public, rather than hiding behind a paywall. So what we're doing is we're basically taking the content that you would see on Subpoints, kind of social commentary from a faith perspective, and we're bringing it to the main channel under a new banner, Everyday Theology, because we're going to be posting more than just Thursdays. And so we wanted to change the name without losing that theme. The spirit, the look of it all. So Everyday Theology is the new name, and it's basically what you would have seen on Subpoints on our after show. So that's going to the public. So what happens to Theology Thursday? What happens to our Revelation study?
What happens to me?
What happens to Ryan?
that is the question.
So what we're going to do is Theology Thursday will continue. This series that we're doing on Revelation will continue. We're going to finish out the whole book. But we're basically doing a flip-flop. We're switching that more social commentary from a faith perspective content to the free side, and we're taking the more in-depth theological stuff to the paid side. Now, I know for some of you who've been following us for a while, you may be thinking, that's a ripoff. Why are you making me pay for something? Like, I've been enjoying this Revelation series, and now you're going to make me pay for it? No. Here's the deal. To have access to Theology Thursday, which will continue, us answering questions and going through verse-by-verse studies, it's $2 a month. We're not going to have tiers anymore. We'll still have merch and stuff that's available to purchase, but it won't be sent through Patreon. You just, one tier gives you access to Theology Thursday, the more in-depth Bible study stuff that we're doing, $2 a month. We are doing this because we want to grow and we want this to be more sustainable, but we're also not doing all of this for money. Like, the amount of work we put into it, it would be nice. I mean, we put a lot of work into this. It would be nice to see it grow.
Connor puts a
I'm
lot
doing
of work
it for
into
money.
But yeah, I put a lot. I'm the one who edits and all that. But that being said, it'd be nice to see a return on investment of the time we're putting into it. But at the same time, we don't want people to not have access to it because of money. So if you can't swing the $2 a month, there's no shame. Email us theologythursdaypodcast@gmail.com, and we will give you access to the RSS feed for totally free. You'll still be able to listen and have access to the rest of the Revelation series. And you don't even have to give us a reason. Like, don't feel awkward or shameful about that. Literally just email us and say, I want the free podcast. We'll send it to you. No questions asked, okay? So if you can swing $2 a month, we appreciate the support. If you can't, just let us know, and we'll make sure you continue to get that. So, Everyday Theology is kind of a new thing that we're doing that's more open to the public. Theology Thursday, we're going to continue, but we're trying to make it a little bit more sustainable. So that's why this is happening. And honestly, I'm pretty excited about it.
Yeah.
I agree. And, in some ways, it's a logical step because we were releasing the stuff that we put the most time into, what I would argue has the most value. We're just giving it out there, and then stuff that doesn't really. It's going to be fun.
It's just fun.
Yeah, it's gonna have entertainment value. I think it's going to have some spiritual value to it, and then some humor as well. But then we're locking that behind a paywall. It's like. What really has greater value? So we're just trying to make it make more sense for what we're trying to do.
Yeah, and I think that's important for people to know is we already have content that you have to pay for. We just realized that the free content and the content you had to pay for were in the wrong place.
Yeah.
So we're switching it. So really, our format isn't changing, except for the fact that we're actually making it cheaper than it ever was.
Yeah.
So if you're already a subscriber on Patreon, you may be wondering what's going to happen. I give $12 a month. Thank you, by the way. That's amazing. It's going to change. Now you have some extra Chick-fil-A money, whatever you want to do with that. What I'd encourage you to do is, I still want to support these guys. Go tell your friends. Go tell your friends, hey, it's $2 a month. This is a really good podcast, and we'll probably make that back up pretty quickly. So I'm really excited about this. Again, I just really want to emphasize, if you want to continue the Revelation series, you still want that more in-depth stuff, just email us. It's yours. And so the idea actually is we're going to do Everyday Theology, sort of a talk show feel, and it's going to be live stream. The goal is every Sunday at 5, unless otherwise noticed. And we'll tell you ahead of time if we have to change it, but at 5 o'clock every Sunday, starting next Sunday, you get to join us. Mac will have access to the comment sections. When he's here, he'll be able to kind of interact with you guys. And if you guys want to interact in real time, we're going to have that talk show. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Nice.
If you're not into long-form content like that, because it'll probably be 45 minutes to an hour, we're going to be posting that in smaller chunks throughout the week. So we'll have content for you every day. And it just gives us more exposure, more opportunity to reach more people. It's just time for a mix-up. This isn't because Theology Thursday is ending. This is because we want to keep this going for a very long time. I think this is going to make it more sustainable and worthwhile in the long run. Ryan, do you have any thoughts on this?
I'm excited for the future.
Nice. So by the way, this is effective immediately. So, I mean, it's already October. This is our first episode of October, and this is just going out to everybody as an update. This is our new format. But it starts next week. So all of our old Theology Thursday episodes are going to stay up on the channel till the end of the year, and then they will go behind the paywall as kind of a library for our Patreon subscribers. That, again, you can have access to for free. So, but for the rest of the year, that's all up there if you want to watch it. But then after January 1st, it switches to just everyday theology content on the channel, and then you can have access to the whole library of everything we've ever done. I think that's it. Yeah, I mean, just make sure you subscribe. If you're like on Spotify or whatever, we'll still post stuff on there, but we're really going to focus on YouTube, on the video side of it for everyday theology. And then Theology Thursday will be more focused on the audio side, so we kind of get the best of both worlds.
Nice.
Sounds good to me.
Mac, how do you feel? I mean, we just brought you in, and we're already changing everything.
Man, I'm so nervous right now.
You have any input you want to give?
No, I'm excited. I think what you're doing is smart because you're, like you said, you're doing it like the right way. Like the really important stuff is the stuff that is the like accessible by the $2 or just email. But the more goofy, fun stuff is more YouTube friendly, I guess. But I think it still has, like Johnny said, it still has its value. So I'm looking forward to it.
I think all of it, we hope that all of it is edifying to you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a place for both of them, and we're already doing both of them. It's just about putting them in the right spot for the right people to see it. So I guess this is your first episode of Everyday Theology. Welcome. This is a new era.
So we're on YouTube. We also have an Instagram account, right?
Yep, Instagram, so there's reels and stuff on there.
We don't have a TikTok yet.
Well, so...
We need to get our own TikTok.
Maybe. I don't know.
Instagram Reels is better than TikTok.
If
We want to do both.
If you want to see some of our stuff on TikTok, at Reverend Grubbs, at Reverend_Grubbs.
And if you think Theology Thursday should have its own TikTok, let us know. If there's a big demand for it.
I think it does.
Well, let's wait and see. Let's let the people decide.
Let the people decide, right?
And if we get to 100 followers, Ryan's going to do a TikTok dance.
Yeah.
I'm going to do a TikTok dance?
Yeah, you have to do like the little, hit the gritty or whatever.
My students kept asking for me to hit the gritty. I didn't know what that meant.
I'll explain it to you when you're older.
Okay.
Well, we're only, we're at 70 subscribers right now. It'd be great by the end of the year to get to 100. Ryan will do a TikTok dance if we get to 100 subscribers by the end of the year.
Will you?
Sure.
Okay.
I got to learn a TikTok.
Everyone
will you hit the gritty?
Ryan hit the gritty.
Mac needs to teach me how to hit the gritty, and then I will hit the gritty.
You guys heard it here. I mean, go get people to subscribe because this is something I want to see. See, this is the quality content that we've been making people pay for. It should absolutely be free. And then we put hours of work into studying, the book of Revelation, and like, here you go. It's time for a change, but it's an exciting change. I mean, I look at this and I'm like, okay, now we can keep going for another 4 years.
Yeah.
We're on our second term.
Yeah, I mean, look, we talked about it, and Mac, of course, he joined pretty late in the game. He's been on several episodes before, but now, like, having him on a regular basis, this is kind of a new thing, and we're on, like, 130
This is like in the second season when they add a new character.
Yeah.
We'll see if this was a good fit, though.
We'll see if he dies off.
Season 2 character.
If he gets married
Hopefully
or
I don't
something,
get
maybe.
kicked off the show.
But the thing is that we talked about before on one of our subpoints, one of our after shows that nobody's seen, but now I'm putting it out there for the public. We said we should try to get to 1,000 episodes, and then we'll stop. If we make it, if we're still doing this by episode 1,000, like that will be our cutoff.
Because we'll be really old by then, right? We did the
calculated
math.
We'll be like in our
50s
or something.
And Ryan will have
4
already
years,
hit the
130
gritty, so
episodes.
we got what we wanted.
Yeah, I'm trying to do the math on that.
We'll be like, we did what we set out to do.
I don't even know.
So do 4 is 100.
It might be different now because at the time it
episodes.
was like less frequent. I don't remember.
What's
We'll do some math. We'll let you know what 1,000 episodes looks like.
Guys, we got to episode 1,000.
What just happened?
That's you guys
He had
when you get to
aneurysm.
episode 1,000 because you're old.
We got to get some new mugs and some new T-shirts. I mean, Theology Thursday still exists, but like Everyday Theology is going to need its own merch.
It's going to say ET.
ET, yeah, I thought about that because we have the TT on that side, and now it's going to say ET.
If we do a ET shirt, it should be like silhouettes of us like on bikes in the sky.
I'd buy that for $1.
That's not a bad idea. New
Can we
brand.
get the copyright license for ET?
I think it'll be different. Oh, that's true. If it's different, I'll look into copyright
These
laws.
two random fat guys and Ryan silhouettes.
We're gonna put Johnny in the basket where ET goes.
I think Mac. I think you should be in the basket because you're gonna carry us this next season.
All right, I gotta have a magic glowing finger.
Mac's that character that comes in the second season, and you're like, I don't know about this guy, and then he ends up carrying the whole second season.
And then he
I'm about
gets
to
killed
carry
off.
this season too. Just be prepared. I'm about to carry.
And then he gets killed off. I thought we were talking about a sitcom.
Oh, right.
I'm not getting.
Well, I hope this was informative. If you have questions, let us know. It's new times. You'll see next week. You'll be like, hey, this is different. And then after a couple weeks, you'll be like, I guess this is what we're doing now.
We'll get used to it. It'll be a good new era for us.
A good new era. Ryan?
Yeah, eat.
Nice.
Nice.
Was I supposed to hit the record button?
Hey everybody, it's Connor. I just wanted to finish up this episode with some more details about how this new format is going to work, because at the time we recorded it, we knew that we were launching Everyday Theology and that we would be continuing Theology Thursday on a subscription basis, but we weren't sure yet what platform we were going to be doing it on. So if you are currently a Patreon subscriber, know that pretty soon our Patreon page is going to disappear and payments won't be taken from there anymore, but we will be sending you an email with the link to our new Anchor subscription. Anchor is an audio platform, so moving forward, Theology Thursday, where we're doing the more in-depth stuff, is going to be audio only, and it's $1.99 a month, and you can set that up using the link. It's in the description of this episode. If you are a Patreon, you will have been emailed that. And you may be thinking, but I was giving more. I want to support. Well, one thing you can do to help us is go recommend this to some friends. Go ask some of your friends to sign up. Tell them, hey, this is a great show. It's only $1.99 a month. If you have a Spotify account, because Anchor is connected to Spotify, once you subscribe, these episodes will continue going to your feed the normal way. If you don't have Spotify and you listened on other platforms, the only way to listen to the subscription-based content is on Anchor, which you can actually download a mobile app for, or you can just do it on the website. So thank you so much. If you have any questions, please reach out and let us know. We want to make this as easy and simple as possible. And we're so thankful for your support and excited about this new era of Everyday Theology / Theology Thursday.